Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. We'll start in a few minutes. I'm just waiting for everybody to join.
कृष्णपृष्ठाया भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी इति नामिने। शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय निताय गौरंग 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 जय कृष्ण बलराम 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 जय कृष्ण Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe
Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe
Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe
Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra Radha Krishna Chandra Radhe.
Hare Krishna, everybody. We have 5 minutes to go, so I'll wait till then. I'll not start the third chapter yet, but there was a question in the chat which Dr. Sumant Prabhu has asked, and I think it's a very nice question. I had asked the same question some 8 years ago to my guru. Are you there, Prabhu? Can you hear me? Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think he is replied in the chat. It's I told in the chapter during the chapter 1. It's Namanishta Prabhu, who is the president of ISKCON Mangalore. He will be taking the next level teaching. Srimad Bhagavatam he will be taking for you people if you all register for that. And I would suggest and request everybody to register. You can look him up. He has a YouTube channel of his classes. It's YouTube/Nama Nishtadas. I will share his YouTube channel link again. If you subscribe to his channel, you'll find really amazing videos. There are like thousands and thousands of hours of classes. Yeah. Okay, Madhu. So the question that Sumanta Prabhu has asked, he is not here to ask it, I think. So I will just read it out. Are you there, Prabhu? I don't think so. This question is: soul transfers from one body to another, but population gradually increases. How number of souls is not increasing? Number of souls should remain constant, and but we can see that population of human population is increasing. That's the key word: human population. I wish he was there. Are you here, Prabhu? Sumant Prabhu? The thing is, number one, we are limiting ourselves when we think that population only refers to humans. There are billions of species on this planet, and number of souls remain constant. Yes, but do you see the number of trees, number of animals, and number of birds being killed on daily basis for our sense enjoyment? Whether trees are being cut down for our sense enjoyment, or animals, or birds, where do you think they are going to end up? Because we humans have killed them, they get a human life, and it's their turn to exploit us, and it goes on happening like that. And also, if you think even more deeply, we are limiting ourselves by thinking of planet Earth only. Number of souls remain constant in this universe. There are many higher planets and lower planets: yakshas, kinnaras, gandharvas, demigods, that is devatas and devis. And if you go lower, there are low planets like atala, sutala, vitala, talatala, patala, and there are so on. 7 higher planets, 7 lower planets. So there are higher life forms and lower life forms all around this universe. And when it's their time to come to Earth, they come to Earth. And when it's their time to go to some other planet, they go to some other planet. I hope I answered your question. I would. Are you there, Prabhu? Could you just ask to? Where are you, Prabhu? Yes. Bhakti Mataji is here. Okay. So I'll start with today's chapter. It's just 1 minute. Let us not use the chat box unnecessarily. Plants also have souls. I mean, yes, they are. They are scientifically proven that plants are very sensitive to touch, words, and even scenery. Plants can actually see as well. Again, Sarvesh, you were not there yesterday. I answered your question yesterday. He's asking how 700 verses were spoken in a few minutes. What you have to understand is it is Krishna speaking to Arjuna, the greatest teacher speaking to the greatest student. And when there are, I'll just ask you to unmute yourself. Sarvesh, can you please unmute yourself? Sarvesh Prabhu?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So now just take this scenario. There's an amazing professor who has come from, let's say, London, and he is taking a class for us. He is my classmate from IIT. So let's say he's taking class for us, and he has only, we are also in a hurry, he is also in a hurry. In 1 hour, wouldn't you extract as much knowledge as possible? You would ask doubts, he would give you answers, and you would be like, oh wow, this is very nice, but what about this, sir? And so on. And in 45 minutes, you would be able to take benefit of it, wouldn't you?
yeah,
Yeah, but now we are biotechnologists, so that's okay. But if somebody from mechanical engineering was hearing this and you would hear words like auxotroph, this and all the biotech words, would he understand anything?
no,
Probably not. I'm not patronizing him. I'm sure he's brilliant in his field, but these biological words are very new to him. So he would be like, what are they talking? Oh my God, let me note down. And if he writes down and he has to study each word, expand them, how long do you think it's going to take him? 45 minutes of very dense, knowledgeable conversation between you and the professor. If he is going to write it down and decipher it and study it, how long do you think it's going to take him?
it will take him ages, I think.
That's exactly what's happening here. Bhagavad Gita is being spoken by the Supreme Lord himself to the most inquisitive person around, and Lord is going on speaking, and it's 700 verse in their mother tongue. We say verse because it's in Samskrita, otherwise they're just sentences. Krishna's mother tongue is Samskrita, Arjuna's mother tongue is Samskrita. They're just having a normal conversation, and to us they sound like, oh, look at that word. To them, it's a daily, daily matter of speech. It's not awesome. It's very ordinary for them. To us, it is mind blowing. I hope I answered your question, Saroj.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yes, Shipra Mataji, both Atma and Paramatma reside in the heart. It comes up in the later chapters. So I think I'll start today's chapter. Is that okay? In case you're not able to connect, you can go to YouTube and watch this live, because yeah, I've shared the links on the group also. If it needs to be reshared, please somebody take care of it and reshare the YouTube live link. So I'm 2 minutes over time, so let me quickly start. This is the third chapter. First chapter, Arjuna gives 5 excuses as to why he does not want to fight. And the 5 excuses seem very logical to us when we are in the first chapter. But when we come to the second chapter, we see Krishna demolishing one excuse after the other, saying, no, 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 you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Here's your answer, here's your answer. Now, here is Arjuna's, one of his last tries. He's trying to fight again. He will try to argue again in this chapter. And this chapter is known as Karma Yoga. Chapter 3, Karma Yoga, Yoga of Action. Before we go into Karma Yoga, let's first understand a very commonly used word. We hear Karma Kanda very commonly. What is Karma Kanda? Anybody has an idea? Karma Kanda, our daily rituals that we do with demigods. Like we go, especially in college students, we can see this. When I was doing my BE in Udupi, Nitte, I saw that people who never visited temple start visiting temple before exams. They never even saw that there is a temple over there. But when there is exam time, people start gathering in temples left and right. They go with coconuts, banana, agarbatti, and all, whatever they can get their hands on, they take it and run to the temple. All the other time, temple will be empty. What is this? During exam time, why is this happening? This is Karma Kanda. This is going to some demigod saying, oh demigod, take this, and in return, please help me pass the exam. Yeah, demigod certainly will help you to his best. But remember, this is Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda, simply put, refers to ritualized means to derive sense enjoyment using different means, such as Devata worship. And in some places, there is Bhoot worship. They worship ghosts and demons. This is Karma Kanda. For my sense enjoyment, I am doing something. I do something and I am going to get something out of it, material. While on the other hand, Karma Yoga is quite opposite. It is Ulta. It is engaging oneself in constant endeavor to please and serve the Supreme Person, God it himself. Karma Kanda is to please myself. I do some circus. Karma Yoga, on the other hand, to please the Lord, I'm doing what he wants me to do. I'm engaged in his service. That is Karma Yoga. Is that understood? If it is understood, you can give me a yes in the chat box. If there is any doubts, you can say you have not understood, and maybe we can discuss at the end. So with karma kanda and karma yoga clear, we want to stay away from karma kanda as much as possible because it binds us. We'll see that slowly. We can discuss it at the end. What is dharma and what is bhakti? We say karma yoga has to be done in the mode of bhakti. What is bhakti? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yatha bhakti radokshate ahituki apratita yayatma suprasidati. In Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, sixth shloka is this. It says the supreme occupation of all humanity is that by which men can attain loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy yourself. You want to serve the Lord because you love the Lord. It shouldn't be that hidden agenda. Bhagwan, I love you a lot, but kal ka exam pass kara dena. Kal ka exam pass, then Bhagwan, who I don't remember you. I forget you until next exam. See you in the mid sems. See you in the end sems. I take student examples because I am a student. Please don't mind. Or you can take promotion as an example. Promotion, it's about time I get a promotion, I start doing Devi Devata worship or whatever. And then as soon as I got my promotion, even if it's demigod, or even if it is the Lord himself, I forget him. Done. This is not ahaituki and apratihata. This is not unmotivated and uninterrupted. It should be unmotivated. Well, why are you doing service? Because it's my duty, because I love the Lord. And should it be interrupted? Yeah, aaj Sunday and thoda relax kar lete. That is not the attitude. It shouldn't be interrupted. It should be uninterrupted to completely satisfy the Lord and satisfy the self as well. So that is the real definition of bhakti. Yes. Then in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 19th chapter, 170th shloka says, Sarvopadivinur Muktam Tatparatvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. What is definition of bhakti? What is that litmus test whether you will come to know it is bhakti or not? Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Rishikaha means senses. Rishikesha means the supreme Lord who is Isha. He is the master of senses. We get our senses from him. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Using my senses to give pleasure to the Lord's senses. I have this mouth given by the Lord. I will chant his names. I have this ears given by the Lord. I will hear his glory. I have these eyes. I will look at the Lord's form, look at the Lord's temples. I have these hands given. I will clean the temple. I have the skin given by the Lord. I will use this to sit in the temple and associate with the devotees. I have this tongue given by the Lord. I will use it to taste prasadam of the Lord. All the senses should be engaged in the service of the Lord. I have the skin, so I will do japa by feeling the beads so that I can make the Lord happy. This is bhakti. This is the definition of bhakti. So finally, let's start the third chapter. Here Arjuna is saying, Ekam Vada. He says, Lord, you're confusing me. Well, Lord is not confusing him, but he's trying to find a way out. He says, Krishna, you're telling me that cultivate knowledge that so we are the soul, we are not this body. And then you're saying be active in service. So this is the recap of last chapter. He had said two things. He said, Neha Vikramana Nashosti, you do service and there is no loss in this path. And then he also says, Nainam Chinnanti Shastrani, Nainam Dati Pavaka. We are soul, we cannot be destroyed. And the body keeps migrating from the soul keeps migrating from one body to another. The law of transmigration. So Arjuna is saying, what are you saying? If I'm soul, I'll go and meditate. Why should I fight this war? And if I have to serve you, why are you even telling me that I'm the soul? You're confusing me. Tell me one thing. Should I go into jungle and meditate, or should I fight this war? And why are this contradictory? Does it sound contradictory to anybody? Like, how can, if I'm body, why should I, if I'm not the body, why should I fight? Does anybody, is anybody understanding? Isn't it a little bit contradictory? That's what Arjuna is feeling. He's feeling like this is contradictory. Now, here is, he says, Ekam Vada in the second shloka of third chapter. He says, Ekam Vada. Tell me one thing. You're confusing me with too much information. Happens many times. So the Lord says, not merely by abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Matlab, it will be understood clearly in the next sloka. Try to understand this. Here is a sadhu. Who agrees that he is a sadhu? Use the chat again. Isn't he a sadhu? Okay, I see no. They are very observing. It's visible what's in his hand, in his right hand. Okay. What if he's not a sadhu? What can we call him? The Lord says, "Karmendriyani samyamya yaste manasa smaran indriyarthan vimudatma mithyachara uchyate." He calls it. The Lord is calling this mithyachara. What does mithyachara mean? One who restrains senses and organs of action, but whose mind dwells on sense objects, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. We have seen many such people. Not just sadhus, even day-to-day basis, we see small hypocrites, tiny hypocrites. That's okay. You be a small hypocrite, you're not harming anybody. But if you say you're a sadhu, you're wearing saffron clothes and you're going around doing such nonsense, it's very, very wrong, isn't it? Mithyachara. Also, today we call it hypocrite or even dhongi, some people call it. So, what happens if a kshatriya goes as a sannyasi into the jungle? What happens? We have a very famous story. Has anybody heard the story of Bharat Maharaj going to the forest and saying, "I am going to give up the whole world"? Do you know who Bharat Maharaj is? There are 4 Bharatas in Indian history. Does anybody know the 4 Bharatas? I think yes. Anybody raise your hand? I'll ask you to unmute yourself. Does anybody know who 4 Bharatas are? 4 famous Bharatas? Anybody? Nobody? Anybody knows 3 or 2 or 1? Yes, Prakash Prabhu, do you know all 4?
I know 3 of them.
Yeah, who are they, Prabhu? Okay. Yeah, Prabhu. Who are the 3 you know? Hare Krishna. Okay, let's give Babu Prabhu a chance. Yes, Prabhu?
Hello?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Okay. One was the son of the king of one of the ancestors of Pandavas.
Okay. You mean
other one was
Shakuntala wala Bharat?
Yes, Shakuntala.
Yes. He is one.
And the other one was Bharat, who was actually a little who was more into bhakti.
Yeah,
and
that
was
is Bharat.
not
Yes.
Bharat, and there was another Bharat that was called Jad Bharat.
Yeah, that is also him. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll come to that. It's the same person. Jada Bharat and this Bharat is the same.
No, these are the 2 I need to know then.
Okay. Anybody else wants to give it a try? Babu Prabhu?
One.
Okay, you muted yourself. Yes, Prabhu?
One is Rama's brother,
Yeah.
and one is Shakuntala and Bharat, and one more is Bharat.
Bharatakanda.
The one who after the country is named.
Countries.
Yes.
Everybody is forgetting one. He was quite recent. The person who wrote the rules of drama and dance, classical dance. There is a dance named after him known as Bharatanatyam. That Bharat is also there. Anyway, so let's talk about this Bharat. This is the king after whom India is named as Bharat. Not just India. The whole world used to be called Bharat once upon a time. Anyway, so what happens is he's a very, very great king. And the definite why I mean great, because he, after finishing his duty at certain age, he said, "I'm done. I don't want to rule the world anymore. I'll just go to the forest and I want to meditate on the Lord." He was a very great devotee of the Lord. There are 9 stages in bhakti. He had reached the 8th stage and he was about to reach the 9th stage. We will discuss more about the 9 stages in upcoming chapters, but let us just understand he was damn near perfect. He was about to reach perfection. So he says, "I'm done. I have done my duty. Now I'll go to the forest and I want to meditate on the Lord. I want to serve the Lord. I'm going to forest. I don't want any attachment. I'm going." Quite straightforward. But what happens when he goes to the forest to observe Dhyana Yoga is one day in the morning when he's taking a bath, he sees that there is a pregnant deer trying to cross a river. And this pregnant deer who is trying to cross a river just got very thirsty and started to drink water from a stream where Bharat Maharaj was taking a bath. and suddenly there is a tiger which roars from behind and comes to catch this deer, and the deer is just not okay. I think I said deer a lot of times. It's not a deer, it's a doe, it's a female deer. So the female deer jumps across the river. So the doe, the female deer who jumps across the river, she was very fully pregnant, and during this jump, the baby just pops out. The I don't know the word for baby deer, so I'll just say baby deer. The baby deer just pops out and it falls into the river, and the river was quite slow, but still it had the torrent to pull away the baby. So Bharat Maharaj, what he should have done? Use the chat to tell me, should he save the deer or not? What do you think? Save it. That's what he did. He is the king after all, isn't he? Yes, this is the Bharat who Arjuna is also called Bharata. So he is called Bharata after him. Arjuna's ancestor is. So he saves the deer. Until saving it was fine. Now something happens in next stage. After saving the deer, it's such a cute deer. Wouldn't you get attracted to it and get attached to it? Sadly, that's what happens. He gets attached to it so much that he cannot do his daily duties. He should do his yagya, he should do his meditation, he should do his daily rituals, but he's so attached to this deer, and the deer is also so much attached to him that, you know, we can relate to that. In today's world, we are attached to dogs like that. We see some videos of dogs somewhere, we get lost. I was supposed to study for my tomorrow's exam, but look at this cute puppy on Instagram. So similar thing happened to Bharat Maharaj. He got attached to this deer so much that he fell back on his sadhana. And at the moment of his death also, he was thinking about this deer. At the moment of his death, he was thinking, where is that deer? Where is my... He's relating to it like a parent. He says, where is my baby? Where did it go? The deer has had, you can see the tiny antlers around. Deer was grown up. It was a male deer. It had gone looking for female deers. It was done. It had enough of, exchanges with Bharat Maharaj. Now it wants to have a life of its own. So it doesn't come back, and Bharat Maharaj dies in excruciating pain. So what do we learn from this? Anybody has a lesson from here? What do you get from this whole pastime? What do you get from this historical story? Yes, Saurabh Prabhu.
I think.
Oh, okay, you got muted again. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, Prabhu.
I think deer is chanchal in nature, so I think deer represents our wishes, our unfulfilled desires. So even when we are on the path of bhakti or trying to merge into God, but there are certain aspects in our mind that come and we feel that we get derailed. So one should be very focused.
Yes. As I asked in the chat, he saved the deer, which is not wrong. Of course, it's his duty to save the deer, but he should have stopped at that. The deer has jumped. He could have, there was always another option, but he took care of the deer and got attached to the deer and lost his path. So what it represents, or what it really means, is he was a Kshatriya by nature. Kshatriyas are protectors, and he thought he was ready to take sannyasa, but he actually was not ready. He had still that, he had that giving, we call it giving attitude in today's world. He still had that attachment still in him. So when he found this deer, he got attached to it. A real yogi would not get attached to a deer. He would protect it and just send it on its way. They are quite smart. They're not like human babies. They don't need help that much. They can walk around and they can start eating grass quite early. So Bharat Maharaj got attached, and which seems to be, his intentions weren't bad. His intention was very nice. But what happened ultimately? He missed his goal, and in his next life, he was reborn as a deer. And it's a whole, it's a nice part of history. In Srimad Bhagavatam, you'll study what happened further. So what is the takeaway from this? Giving up activity in the name of renunciation, saying I'm a Vairagi, I'm not going to do it, is not real Vairaga. That's false Vairagya. It's Falgu Vairagya. It's false renunciation. Because many people will call it, hey, this is laziness, or people will call it, you're a parasite of the society. Like we saw a few slides earlier, this person is no offense to anybody, but this is parasitic behavior. They're just parasites to the society. They're not doing anything. What is real Vairagya then? Not doing anything is not Vairagya. What do you think is real Vairagya? What do you think is Heroic. Heroic would be if someone does his duty and says, I don't care about the outcome. He just gives up the result. He doesn't care. He does his job and just walks away. Like if Bharat Maharaj would have saved the baby deer, put it on the ground and just walked away, that would be so amazing and great. True renunciation is giving up the fruits of all the activities while carrying out the duty. Don't have to go to a forest. Right in the center of any metropolitan city, in the center of Bangalore, you can get the same benefit of going to the forest. Because if your mind is not right, even in forest, you will find something to get attached to. He gave up such a huge kingdom, whole planet was under him. He gave up saying, I don't want to get attached. He went to the forest and got attached to a baby deer. You see how ridiculous that is. So if you really think you can be detached wherever you are. No one can term this person as a lazy man or a parasite because he's doing more than what can be expected from him. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Do something because as a service to the Lord. If Bharat Maharaj would have saved the baby deer, put it on the floor and said, Lord, you gave me this idea to save the deer and I have done it. Now I'm back at your service. Would Hanuman ever do this? Let's say Hanuman was taking bath in some river in some jungle. He sees a baby deer in trouble. He would save the baby deer, give it some food, gather some fruits and give the deer and just come back. Goal is Krishna, goal is Lord Ram. Hanuman's goal is Lord Ram. He cannot live a moment separated from Lord Ram. Work done as sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duties for his satisfaction. Lord is saying his. He's talking about himself in third person. He says Vishnu's satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Yeah, does this resonate well with you? Does that make sense? The Lord is saying, do it as a offering to Vishnu, and that will be the perfection of your duty. The demigods being pleased by sacrifices will also please you. The demigods seeing that you are pleasing the Supreme Lord will also come and help you. Why? Because they are also servants of the Lord. See, in a company, if a good employee will always encourage another employee to work in a better way, to take the company forward or to serve the master in a nice way, there is a positive environment. Similarly, the demigods are always showering their blessings and good wishes on the devotees of the Lord, because even they are servants of the Lord. They also want more people to join in that mission of theirs. And also, what we do in today's world, we are so busy in Devata worship. Devatas are also annoyed. Try to understand. Let's take an example. Let's say you find me somewhere on the middle of the road in whichever town you people are from, and I'm trying to push a car single-handedly, and a friend of mine is trying to get the car started, and I'm pushing the car. What is the best thing you can do to help me? Is it cheer for me saying, yeah, you can do it, yeah, push it harder, or can you help me in pushing the car? What do you think you should do? Encourage me or join me? You should help me, right? Cheering might help up to a level, but come on, I'll get annoyed after some time. That's what we're doing with demigod. We're saying, like, for example, there are many bhajans where we say, Durga, you're Vaishnavi. We say, you're such a great devotee of the Lord. You're so great. Give me a blessing. Yes, of course, she will give her blessings to you. But wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't she be so happy with you if you joined her in serving the Lord? So always remember that serving the Supreme Lord makes everybody, all the demigods also happy. That's the best way to please all the demigods. Like Ganesha did not want to write any random book, but when he was told that it's the glories of the Lord being written, he came. He quickly came. He broke his tooth also for the service of the Lord. That's devotion. The demigods being pleased by sacrifice will also please you, and thus by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. Everybody, whole world becomes prosperous because whole world is in service to them. 11th shloka. 12th shloka is in charge of the various necessities of life. The demigods being satisfied by the performance of yajna, which is sacrifice, will supply all necessities to you. But he who enjoys such gifts without offering them to demigods in return is certainly a thief. We have to be grateful to the demigods. We have to be grateful to the demigods. Yes, they are arranging so much for us. We have air to breathe. Thank Vayu for that. We have rain which gives us, we'll come to know in the upcoming shlokas. Everything is arranged for us. We have to have gratitude. We have to have that gratitude in us. We should not be ungrateful. That's the most bitter of all attitudes. So that was the 12th shloka. All living bodies subsist on food grains which are produced from rain, and this is in the next chapter. Let's try to understand. It's known as cycle of sacrifice. Pay close attention to this. This is known as cycle of sacrifice. It starts from over here. Vedas come through the Lord. Now you may say, no, Brahma is the first holder of Vedas. Yes, but who gave Vedas to Brahma? Through Chatushloki Bhagavatam. It was Lord himself. So Vedas have come to Brahma, and through Brahma it comes to Narada, and through Narada it comes to Vedavyasa, and so on. The Vedas have come to us. So from Lord the Vedas have come, and these Vedas give us our duties. They tell us this is your duty. If you're in this mode, this is your duty. And we are all doing our duties in one or the other way. And when these duties are done in a proper way, they can be called as sacrifice as well. Because let's take in the mood of karma yoga. If a kshatriya is doing his job perfectly and is saying, oh my Lord, this is a service to you that I'm doing it. When somebody praises him, what a great king you are, he doesn't get puffed up. He says, yes, I'm doing this in service of the Lord. Like when Lord Rama went for Vanavasa, his brother did not sit on the throne and said, hey, I'm the king now for so many years, so bow down to me. No, he took the footways of Lord Rama on his head, back to the kingdom, put it on the throne, and ruled the kingdom. And on behalf of Lord's footwear. Now that is a perfect king. That is bhakti, and that is proper sacrifice. That is the proper way to do duty. And when such duty and such sacrifice is done by people, the demigods are happy and they shower rain upon us. And from, yeah, that's quite understandable. And through this rain, now you may say yagyas do not cause rain. Rain is formed by water cycle. I'm sure many science people will come up and say, but you cannot deny the fact that scientifically speaking, also yagya can cause rain. If you have doubts about that, you can ask me at the end. We can discuss that. Scientifically, it is known that sacrifice, that is yagya, causes rain. And this rain is what gives us grain, which humans subsist on, which all the animals subsist on. So sacrifice gives us rain, and rain gives us grain. And grain is what we all subsist on. Without grains, we wouldn't be here. So it is our duty to offer these grains back to the Lord, saying, Lord, you gave us Vedas, which gave us our duties, which we did as a sacrifice, for which we got rain, due to which we got grain, and here it is, my Lord. It is yours. And whatever you leave, that is what I will leave. That is the perfect mode, isn't it? Is it? What do you think? Isn't that the perfect mode? Shouldn't that be the way the whole civilization works? You can answer now. The chat is open. That this is known as cycle of sacrifice. We have to be grateful, especially to the Supreme Lord himself. Now, speaking of yagya, what is the yagya suggested for Kali Yuga? Yagya, whenever we say yagya, the first thing that comes to our mind is those big homa, havana, the big yagya, and we put ghee in it, and we put flowers, we put food, we put clothes. But is that feasible in this day of age? Is that feasible in Kali Yuga? What do you think? You can use the chat box. Is it possible to do huge yagyas? Now you may say, no, small yagyas we will do. It's not supposed to be done in a small scale. It's supposed to be done in a huge scale. In small scale, it doesn't really count. Shastriya, if you do yagya, you have to do it in, I don't know, 1.5 acre area, and you have to burn so many tons and tons of ghee. I don't know how much ghee costs nowadays, but ghee is quite expensive. We don't have enough ghee to eat. We are not taking care of cows properly. Where it's not possible. You cannot do that yagya. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 5th chapter, 32nd shloka, it is said, Yagnai Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopanga Suparshadam. Yagnai Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. Yagnai Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Sumedasa. It is said, Yagnai Sankirtana Praya. In Kali Yuga, it should be Sankirtana, which is the yagya, and it will be brought to you by Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam, by Krishna himself, but who doesn't have skin color of Krishna, and that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And here is this painting, and here is the mantra which we say. How to do Sankirtana? You say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This is to be said 108 times. We do this japa, and before this japa, we say pranama mantra. We say Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavranta. This pranama mantra is to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after that we start the japa. We say this 108 times. It is called one round. I request everybody to please start japa from today onwards. You know, just one round a day. It doesn't take more than 7 minutes. Well, it might take 8 minutes, but Lord has given us more than 8 minutes a day, hasn't He? He has given us 24 hours. So when I say He has given us so much rain and food grain and air He has arranged for us, and I say offer some of it back to Lord, you agreed. You said yes, we should give it to Lord. You know that Lord will not take it. He will not take it because we are not there yet. Anyway, similarly, He has given us 24 hours a day. We give Him 10% of 1 hour. We give Him 6, not 6, maybe 7 to 8 minutes if we give it back to the Lord. See how your life will change. Just start with one round of japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And you say this 108 times. And to count, if you need japamalas, of course you can buy it online off of Amazon or wherever, but you can also order it off of iskonmangaluru.com, and you get there is a kit called as introductory kit for people of this Bhagavad Gita in 18 days batch. It's not compulsory. I have shared the PDFs with you. You have access to that. But if you want the hard copy of Bhagavad Gita, you can order it online. You get 3 books, out of which amazing small book, then there is Bhagavad Gita, and then there is the Encyclopedia of Self-Realization, known as the Science of Self-Realization. You get these 3 books along with the Japamala, so that you can do japa at house without having to keep count using whatever. So you can do 108 rounds like that. Whoever has started japa, it is amazing. I want some blessings from you. Whoever has not started, please start. That would be a blessing on me. Yeah. So that is the yagya for Kali Yuga. Yes, it is bliss. So what you say is Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavranta. Then you say the Mahamantra Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare. And also in the 10th chapter, the Lord says best yagya out of all is Japa Yagya. When we get there, we will come to it. So I don't want to give you spoilers of 10th chapter now. Okay. The best yagya of all is Japa. The Lord has told us. This is the 13th shloka. Yagna Shishtasana Santo Muchyante Sarvakil Vishay Bhujante to Agam Papam Ye Pachante Atma Karana. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. Like in the beginning, one of the Matajis, I think in the chat, she was saying, oh, so plants also have feeling. Yes, plants have a soul, plants have feeling, plants have everything. Plants actually are much better developed than us because we need words to communicate. I cannot communicate with you without words. Maybe I can say some signs, but it's not feasible. But plants communicate using small chemical molecules. They have huge conversations. Mother plant is in connection with its child. A seed of one particular plant, when it germinates in maybe 500-meter radius, the root is going to bind with the mother root and they're going to have a communication. There's a lot of love between plants. So yes, plants do feel pain. So what to do? Even that is sinful. Vegetarianism, now you say, I'm a vegetarian, I have no sin. You're wrong. Vegetarians also have sin. The Lord is saying, Yagna Shishtasana Shanto Muchyante Sarvakil Vishay Bhujante tu Agam Papam Ye Pachante Atma Karana. Anybody who is cooking for himself is eating nothing but verily eating only sin. He is just eating sin. He is not eating food, the Lord says. Because plants do feel pain. So what to do? The Lord says, cook for me, don't cook for yourself. Yagna Shishtasana Shanto Muchyante Sarvakil Vishay. If you cook for the Lord, you cook with Lord in your mind. You don't cook saying, I'm cooking very nice food, I'll enjoy this in 10 minutes. No, that's not the attitude. That is lust, isn't it? You want to enjoy something. Even food is not to be enjoyed. We were discussing yesterday What is lust? Lust is I want to enjoy, whether it is between a boy and a girl or whatever. I want to enjoy that. That is lust. Now you look at a fruit and you say, ah, that apple I want to enjoy. That is also lust. Attitude should be, wow, what a beautiful apple. I want to offer this to Lord. And if Lord gives it back to me, which he will, hopefully, probably, certainly, then I will eat it because it is Lord's remnants. Packed food, we'll come to that. Packed food is not to be eaten actually. Anyway, so I want to offer to the Lord, and Lord, I know out of his love, he will leave something for me, and that is what I will eat. That's the attitude. Yagna Shishtasana Shanto Muchante Sarvakil Vishay Bhujante Dvagam Papam Ye Pachante Atma Karanat. Whoever is cooking for himself, Ye Pachanti, whoever is cooking, Pakana, जो भी खुद के लिए खाना पका रहा है वो बस पाप खा रहा है, खाना नहीं खा रहा है. Now we could come to Panchakosha. This is also a very real life example. Okay, real life example. Everybody, I'm sure everybody has experienced this. We will take questions at the end. Okay. First level where we see majority of the people of this world, and I'm sure we have also been there, is bodily platform. It is known as Annamaya. A person is in a bodily platform when he says, "Pet bhar gaya, kaam ho gaya." Don't we all know somebody who is in this attitude? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you know somebody like this. Yeah, there are many such people who will say, "Yaar, pet bhar gaya, bas kaam ho gaya. Don't worry about anything else. Bas tension nahi lene. Pet bhar gaya, aaj ka kaam ho gaya." Yeah, we will see many relatives in the next level now. Many of our whole world is filled with such people. These people, good if they are saying pet bhar gaya, kaam ho gaya, but bad if they saying daru, cigarette, this and that. If they're, drowning in this bodily platform, it's quite scary. Then somebody who has risen above this, who is not at the pet bhar gaya, kaam ho gaya, is a little bit above. We can clap. We can give him a small round of applause. This is Annamaya is done. Anna. Once your food is arranged, you have regular access to food. You are, economically stable enough to afford food on a regular basis. You rise above. You come to the next level, which is sensual platform, which is known as Pranamaya. Pranamaya example is people are economically doing well, so they build huge compound walls around their house. They get huge dogs the size of bulls, and they keep a security guard outside who is sleeping half the time. But he's trying to protect himself. Pranamaya, he's worried about his life. Or his stomach is full, now he wants to enjoy his senses. Yeah, everybody knows such people. Yeah, if it's a yes, raise your hand. That's sensual platform. Above that, coming above this is even more difficult. Coming above bodily platform is quite easy. You earn enough money, you have come above bodily platform, food is there. Now we become worried about protection. Coming above that is even more difficult. It is known as mental platform. Now, mental platform doesn't mean mental platform, it is mental platform. At this stage, thinking has started. Yes, I have enough food, my life is protected. But there is much more to life. What is there to life? He starts to think, he becomes very inquisitive. At this stage, thinking becomes easy and learning has started. He is willing to learn more at mental platform. We want to be there, but it's quite difficult. But I'm sure everybody knows one or two people who are very calm, serene, and they're always thinking, they're always ready to listen. They're like, yeah, what do you think? Yeah, is it? And they'll have very nice discussions with you. Yeah, does anybody know such people? Raise your hand if you do. Above mental platform comes intellectual platform. It is known as Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya is done. Now comes Jnanamaya. At this stage, philosophy starts. His thinking has become very easy for him. Learning, he has nearly finished, and he is now at a philosophical stage. He is questioning, what is life? Why am I feeling pain? Why am I in misery? I'm trying to get happiness, but I barely ever get a second of happiness, but then again back into pain. What is happening? Why am I not in control? Okay, I'm not in control. Who is in control? Is he in control? No, he's not. Even he is in misery. Okay, is that celebrity in control? No, he is even in a miserable, much more miserable situation than me. And he starts this Inquisitiveness. Who is this in control? Who is controlling this? Very rare to find such people, but does anybody know is there anybody who knows such people who are always philosophical? I don't think so. Very difficult to find people at this level. But if you do know anybody, you can raise your hand. Yeah, that's amazing. There are a few people who know such people. Very nice, very nice. Okay, but that's not the highest level. Highest level is Anandamaya. It is spiritual platform. He has come to know that I'm not the body, I'm the soul, and all the pain is due to this bodily identification. I see that I'm sweating a little bit. Why am I sweating? Because of the heat of this world. My soul is not sweating. My soul is unaffected. My body is getting affected. I'm feeling hungry. I'm feeling thirsty. Thirst is not for the soul. Thirst is for this body. Why should I stop talking when I'm drinking? Limitation of the body. And he has come to the spiritual level and he has understood that I'm not the body, I'm the soul, and the soul's duty is to serve the Supreme Lord. Atma is nothing but dasa of Paramatma, and he has realized this. And very, very difficult to find people at this level. Anybody knows anybody who is always telling you, don't worry, this all this pain is due to your bodily identification, you are wasting your time on this, concentrate on the real goal. Anybody knows, like, concentrate on your real goal? Raise your hand if you do. That's what I thought. Very difficult to find such people. We'll always find, it's like a bell curve. We will always find people at the bottom, but at the top, it's very hard to find. Yes, there is one hand up. That's amazing. That is Panchakosha. So this whole slide comes from this shloka. Indriyani paraniyahu indriyabhya paramam mana manastastu parabuddhe yobuddhe paradatsu saha. What it says is, the working senses are superior to dull matter. My hand is better than this water bottle, isn't it? What's better, my hand or this water bottle? Hand or water bottle? What is better, hand or water bottle? What's better, this phone or my eyes? What's better, phone or eyes? So that's what the Lord is saying. Indriyani paraniyahu. Working senses are superior to dull matter. That's very, very easy to understand. It's quite obvious. We are like, why is Lord saying such simple things? Because now it's going to get a little complicated. Then he says, Indriyabhya paramam mana. Above Indriya, above senses is mind. Do you agree? Mind is above or senses are above? Indriyabhya paramam mana. Among the senses, mind is the supreme. Why? Because using your mind, you can control your senses. Just like using my hand, I can control the water bottle. I can open or close. Using my eyes, I can see what is happening and control it. Similarly, senses can be controlled using mind. And when I was doing my BE, during my undergraduate in the college, when Prabhu said, when my Guru said, mind is supposed to control the senses, I was like, oh wait, mind is above senses. I've been doing it ulta all the while, isn't it? We think our senses are controlling our mind at this point, isn't it? I want to watch a movie, yaar. Mind is shut down. Want to watch a movie? I'll go watch a movie. Waste of time. 3 hours of your life gone. So that is your mind. Mind is supposed to control the senses. But now comes even a little more difficult for some people to digest. Manastastu para buddhe. Above mind is buddhi, intelligence. Many people think mind and intelligence is the same thing, isn't it? Who thinks mind and intelligence is the same thing? Say yes. I wouldn't blame you if you thought so. Even I thought so. Mind and intelligence is the same thing. What is the difference? Well, the difference is mind can tell you yes or no. In Samskrita, it is known as sankalpa and vikalpa. I want it. I don't want it. Am I thirsty? Yes. Should I drink water? Getting a little thirsty today. I'm sweating. I'm sorry about that. I want to watch. Should I watch a movie? Yes or no? Your mind is always in sankalpa vikalpa. Want, don't want. Want, don't want. But intelligence is much higher, because using your intelligence, you can control your mind. For example, what example shall I take? Okay, let's say you have diabetes. Let's not say you have diabetes. Let's say I have diabetes. And we see this very commonly, that people who have diabetes like sweet a lot, isn't it? They want to eat sweet all the time. Yeah. They have that temptation for sweet. Now, an intelligent diabetic person is going to avoid eating sweet, or is he going to always say intelligently is going to decide that I will eat sweet? Has to avoid. See, intelligence and mind is exactly, intelligence provides reasoning ability to the mind. Intelligence is above the mind. Using your intelligence, you can control the mind. Yeah. You want to, yes, I can do it. Can I or can't I is what mind deals with. Should I or shouldn't I is what intelligence is supposed to deal with. But majority of college students, I can say, because I've seen from up close, they have a very sharp mind there, and so-called intelligence also they have. But the thing is, mind and intelligence are working. Mind is working somewhere, intelligence is working somewhere. If you could put intelligence above the mind, real potential would get unlocked. If I could control my mind using my intelligence, yes, I can do that, but I shouldn't, because I have to do this. That's the key to success, isn't it? Whether it is material or spiritual. So manastastu para buddhe. Buddhi should be above mana. And now comes the biggest, bouncer, maybe to some. Yo buddhe paratatsu saha. Above mind also there, above intelligence also there is someone. Now you'll be like, wait, I thought intelligence is highest. But intelligence does have a switch, doesn't it? Intelligence has on and off. Sometimes we can shut off our intelligence, isn't it? Like I had an interview today, and I was like, my intelligence was shut off. And sometimes when you are feeling quite interested in a subject, you become suddenly interested and you become intelligent. Yeah, can intelligence be turned on and turned off? Yes or no? There is something above intelligence, isn't it? Something can control intelligence also. You can give me yes and or a no. See, hence proven that thing which is controlling intelligence, that is above intelligence itself, and that is the soul. But majority of us do not. We only get a slight look of it. We don't get a complete look at it, because the soul is resting. The soul is resting because the soul is hungry and it has starved. It's damn near tired and dead. The only way to awaken it is by chanting. So every day, just start with one round, just start with 108 times the japa, and see how your soul is going to unlock. And as soon as the soul is activated, your mind and intelligence and senses are all going to align correctly, and you will achieve whatever goals that you have. Can we control our soul to awaken our intelligence? That's the thing. You are the soul. There is no controlling your soul. Can a car control itself? No, it needs someone superior. So can a driver control a car? Yes. So soul, you cannot control it, but soul is yourself. You have to feed yourself. What you're longing for is Krishna. Just chant one round a day and see how much bliss you feel. Like one of the Mataji was saying, chanting Krishna's name is so blissful, and that bliss will awaken the soul, and the soul will come back to its natural glory, come back to its natural strength. And once the soul is strong, your intelligence will dominate your mind will properly control your senses, and your senses will obey your goals, life goals. Yeah, and this is a painting that illustrates that very nicely. Here are the five senses: eyes, nose, ears, skin, and tongue. You cannot just leave the horses willy-nilly. You go that side, you go this side, and let's see where we go. Is that how you go on a journey? Can you say, oh, you all five horses are quite intelligent, you go wherever you want. I want to go to Delhi, you go wherever you want. Is that, will you ever reach the destination using this method? Please don't say yes. Is anybody saying yes? No. Everybody is saying no, because somebody has to be controlling it. So to control these senses, what is required? There is that controlling rope or rein, what is this called, in the middle. Mind is required. But again, if the ropes are there but nobody to control it, is there any point to it? Oh, my horses are quite well tied, they will take me to Delhi. Is that going to happen? No, someone has to control these ropes also. And that is intelligence. Intelligence has to control the mind for mind to control the senses. But here ulta is happening with us. Senses are controlling the mind and mind is controlling the intelligence. And look at this. This is us. The soul is terrified. I'm sure everybody will agree. Sometimes when we look at ourselves in the mirror and we're like, kya plan tha? Kya ho gaya? What is happening with me? Has this happened with you? You can raise your hand. Yeah. So much talent I had. Where did it all go? I was expecting so much. My parents were expecting so much. What has happened? Don't you look like this person who is sitting over here? What have I done to myself? I was supposed to be intelligent. I used to be quite smart in school days. What has happened to me now? I'm not even able to make nice decisions for myself. Why am I? Let's take a Karmi example. I don't want to drink. I know it makes my life miserable, but why am I drinking? Because senses are controlling the mind and mind is controlling the intelligence. All choppat, upside down. Andher Nagari choppat Raja. So wouldn't it be amazing if the soul came back in power and said, intelligence, here is what I want you to do. And intelligence was like, hey, listen up, mind. This is what boss wants you to do. Can you make sure it's done? And all the things would be done perfectly. Just try it out. Sounds fair enough so far, right? I am going a little bit about time, am I? Yeah, just we have 10 minutes. I think I can wrap up. If not, please forgive me. Might go a few minutes above. Intelligence which guides the mind is superior, but we know by experience that intelligence can also be guided. This is done by soul. Hence, soul is superior to all dead matter, mind, intelligence, and the senses as well. So please don't ignore the soul. Please feed it. It's longing for Paramatma. It is longing for Krishna. Chant. Just start. It's free. You don't have to pay me. Here's another reason Krishna is saying, Yad yad acharati shreshtas tattat eva tarojana sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. He says, in short, he says, be a role model. Because if you leave the battleground today, 1,000 years from today, people are going to make excuses saying, Arjuna did not fight. Why should I fight? Isn't it? We take examples. No, we say, this used to happen with me in school days. I didn't score well because you know that topper boy, yeah, even he did not score well. I just got 50 marks less than him. How much did you get? 10. What? Yeah, but he also. So, yadyad acharati shrestha, whatever great people do, that's what the people are going to follow. Small people, us. Whatever action is performed by a great man, common men follow in his footsteps. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, all the world pursues. A leader has to lead by example because a role model shapes the society. Common men cannot bring about changes. Somebody has to take up charge of leading. And if that leader is a nice person, whole society can go to a good direction or the bad direction. Role models are who shape the society. That's why, what should we do? Should we do you think anybody can be a role model, or do we need really somebody with no character issues, somebody who is perfect? Do you want such a role model, or somebody who has a good heart but यार कुछ बार गलती कर लेता है तो चलो माफ करते हैं, थोड़ा दारू पी लेता है, थोड़ा सिगरेट पीता है, चलो फिर भी दिल से अच्छा है? Do you want that kind of a funny role model, or do you want a role model who is perfect or funny? What do you think? Chat is open, right? Yeah, perfect. Nobody wants a funny role model, but sadly, we don't have a perfect role model today. We are surrounded by funny people. Role models are who we look up to. They are who we aspire to be. Someday I want to be like that. Yeah. Hence, we must be incessantly cautious and conscious in choosing our role models. Don't just choose any role model just like that. Hey, he's nice. I think I want to become like him. Don't get inspired that easily from miscreants. Don't get attracted by Duryodhana saying, hey Duryodhana, kya mast body tha yaar uska us show mein. Don't get attracted by all this nonsense. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwilling, as if engaged by force? He says, Anicham and Balad. I don't want to do this, but I am made to do this. Yeah. When you look into the mirror, I was saying, when you look into the mirror and you're like, क्या हो गया यार, कितना talent था तेरे में, पर यहाँ पहुँच गया, क्या हो गया? Why are you doing this to yourself? When you're talking to yourself, it's like you're telling yourself, I don't want to do this, but what is making me do this, right? Isn't it? You can raise your hand if you agree, just to make sure you're following. If you're not following, yeah. Anicham, I don't want to do this, but Balad, something is forcing me to do this. So the Lord says, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhava, Mahashano Mahapapma, Vidhi enam iha vairina. Kama esha, okay, this animation is not for you. Kama esha, Krodha esha, ignore this animation. Kama esha, Krodha esha, Rajoguna samudbhava, Mahashano Mahapapma, Vidhi enam iha vairina. It is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with material modes of passion, later transformed into wrath, and which is all enduring sinful enemy of this world. Like yesterday we were discussing. ध्यायतो विषयात् पुंसा संगस्तेषु प्रजायते संगात् संजायते कामा कामात् क्रोध विजायते काम एष क्रोध एष काम gives rise to क्रोध क्रोधात् भवति समोहा समोहा स्मृति भ्रमः स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति gone khalas. How? Just because of kama and krodha. How did kama and krodha come? ध्यायतो विषयात् पुंसा, you are contemplating on sense objects. ध्यायतो विषयात् पुंसा संगस्तेषु प्रजायते, sanga is developed, you are attached, attachment led to lust. So Lord says this is the greatest enemy of the world. Who? Kama and krodha. How to cut it down? Cut down attachment, cut down contemplation, cut down association with sense objects. Boom. Sinful enemy of this world is killed. Then the Lord says, Dhume navritaye vahnir yatha darsho malena cha yathol balena vrito garbhas tatha tenedam avritam. We are naturally, we are nirguna, we are free from sattva rajas tamas, we are vishuddha sattva. But in this world, just like he says, Dhume navrita bhanir, just like fire is covered by smoke. Sometimes you cannot see the fire, very dense smoke covers the fire, and it's as if the fire is not there. Happens, no? But fire is there. And sometimes in the mirror, you're not able to see reflection. Forget reflection. You can't see anything in the mirror. Even if you hold the torch, there is no light coming back because it is covered by dust. And just like embryo is covered by garbha, just like the embryo is covered by the mother's womb, nothing. You cannot see if baby is inside. You can't be sure if baby is inside, or maybe she's just a healthy person. So just like this, we in this world are covered by three modes of material nature. Dhume navrita bhanir is very light. You can still see you can still feel the heat. It's like sattva. Yes, fire is there, just needs a little bit of fanning. Like this, the air is coming. Little bit of fanning and the fire is going to catch up. That is compared to sattva. Yatha darsho malenacha, just like mirror is covered by dust, that is rajas. There is a thick layer of dust, but needs some work. But if you do enough cleaning and polishing, the mirror will be as good as new. Yathol balena vito garbhas, just like the baby is, the embryo is covered in the womb. Very thick covering, very, very difficult to get through. Tamasic person, no matter what you tell, is not ready to listen. It takes a lot of hard work to bring person out of tamas to rajas. That's what the motivational speakers of today are doing. Don't be lazy, believe in yourself, get up early in the morning, go for a run, and after that go to your office, earn money, come back home, rest. Yeah, we see, maybe not like that, maybe not that way, but what are they trying to do? Make a lazy person into an active person. They're asking Annamaya person to become Pranamaya. They're saying, enough of this laziness, go and achieve your dreams. Yes, this is the motivation speaker. He brings you out of tamas to rajas, but who will bring you from rajas to sattva? Is there anybody? We need the Lord for that. He is guidance. As fire is covered by smoke, as mirror is covered by dust, or as embryo is covered by the womb, similarly living entities are covered by different degrees of his lust. It is sattva, rajas and tamas. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of Bharatas, in the very beginning curb this great symbol of sin by regulating senses, slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. Kill the weed right in the beginning. Don't let it grow into a huge tree. So let's end with a thought, with a takeaway. We are right on time, thankfully. Yeah. So let's take this away from this chapter. Moderation is for the weak. We hear every day, a little bit of smoking is good. It's good for our health, you know. Little bit of smoking is good. They used to say a few years ago. If you still have access to YouTube, you can see old cigarette ads. 99% of doctors smoke this brand. That's quite funny. And they say a little bit of meat is good, you know. You should not become completely vegetarian because you need some amount of meat, and meat gives you protein, and they tell you all that. But what if someone told you, this is a 6-month-old presentation that I prepared, and even today I will use the same sentence. What if somebody told you a little bit of Corona? Okay, I'll put the Corona UK edition. What if somebody said a little bit of Corona is good, you know, and they will explain here. They will say, you will lose weight. You have gained weight. No need to go to gym. Just get Corona, a little bit Corona you get. You will lose 10-15 kilos. What a nice idea. What would you say? Would you go and go into the market and go closer to anybody who is coughing or sneezing? Would you do that? Yes or no? Little bit of Corona is good. You'll lose weight. Please don't take me seriously. I'm just joking. But what is your opinion? Do you think that's a good idea? You can lose weight, can't you? Never. Many are saying absolutely never. That's not a good idea, is it? Because corona is clearly bad. All the scientists are agreeing with that. We know it is bad and we want to stay. Okay, somebody is saying at least you will get immunity. Is that a risk you're willing to take? True strength in character is reflected in the ability to say no to vices and say yes to virtues. So, so just smoke a little bit. It's so nice. No. Why? Because I want nothing to do with it. What do I get out of it? बहुत मजा आता है नहीं मजा ऑलरेडी बहुत है जिंदगी में. There is Lord, there is me, there is Bhagavad Gita. Don't need this maja. They might call you boring, they might make fun of you, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. You're not here to impress them. You're here to impress the Lord. Saying no to vices is a virtue, is a strength in character, and saying yes to virtues is also a strength in character. Something nice has popped up here, like me today. I'm begging you, I'm requesting you to start chanting 1 round a day. Start with 1 round, and you have all said yes. That's strength in character. You're like 7 minutes. I don't have 7 minutes. What is this? 7 minutes you don't have? Are you really telling me you're locked down at home and you do not have 7 minutes? Do you really expect me to believe that? Everybody has time. Just 7 to 8 minutes. You said yes. That's amazing. That is true strength in character. And that ends today's chapter. 1 minute over time. I apologize. And I'll take questions. And please raise your hand if you want to ask questions. And people who want to live, who are short on time and you want to leave, it's okay. I wouldn't mind. But if you want to join the discussion, you can join now. Bharati Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Mataji, are you there?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
I wanted to know what is the nature of our soul?
Yeah. Okay, you have gone there. Soul is Satchidananda, just like the Lord. Lord is known as Satchidananda. Our soul is also Satchidananda. It is eternal, it is inquisitive, and it is looking for happiness. But due to intelligence and mind not being aligned properly, we are using this intelligence in a wrong way. We think, ordinary things in this world will make us happy. Yes, water does make us. When you're really thirsty and you drink some water, it does make you happy. But it is so temporary, isn't it? I drank water, I'm feeling good. And okay, now I feel normal. If I drink more water, will I feel happy? Let me try it. No, I don't think it's tasty anymore. I might puke. If you drink too much water, you'll vomit. If you do anything too much in this world, you'll vomit. But have you ever heard that Hanuman did so much service to Lord Rama that he started vomiting? Does that ever happen? No. Service to the Lord is what your soul is longing for, and that's the nature of the soul. The goal of life is to serve the Lord, and that is the real happiness in life. And when you experience that, you'll never leave it. It's the most addicting thing in this world. Let me warn you, this is the most addictive thing in this world. I hope I answered your question, Mataji. That is the nature of the soul. Being servant.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Raghu Prabhu, yes. You muted yourself. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My question is, when you say, the Karma Yoga is saying, to reach, to attain, bliss or the final stage of bhakti, all that we need to do is not expecting fruits and delivering your duties. So that is what I understood from one of your slide. So therefore, you also shown one picture of a sannyasi who is actually smoking. So if he is smoking, without expecting any fruit, okay. Therefore, so in that sense, it is still acceptable. There is no, there is no harm. Still, you can attain, you can reach the goal. The bhakti.
Are you telling me he is an addict of nicotine and is not expecting anything in return, Prabhu? I know what you're debating, but do you believe your own point? Can somebody smoke without expecting something?
Just by habit, we just like the way we eat.
Habit is addiction. Addiction is sense enjoyment. Sense enjoyment is lust.
That's true, but
And also,
I'm thinking because I'm because if you come to Europe and in Europe they smoke it because smoke to just feel the heat As-
that is what I was telling you over here. That we hear this all the time. Yeah, even to this day they say a little bit of smoking is good, but for heat you can take a kambal. No, you can just take the blanket and cover yourself. No, no, no. I will smoke, and from inside I won't heat. That's not natural. If humans, you're understanding me, right? Smoke is not. You drink a cup of hot water. Drink kashaya in India, wherever there is too much cold. They drink kashaya. You know what is kashaya? The hot beverage. Don't you think kashaya will help you get your core body temperature up? Kashaya is liquid, and liquid has much higher specific heat. So if you drink one glass of hot water or kashaya, it will quickly bring up your core body temperature. But smoke is gaseous, and its specific heat, latent heat, is very low. You will just feel hot, but then the heat is going to escape you. It's not a good solution.
so it can have bad effects on the body.
It only has bad effect.
Denial. Sorry.
It only has bad effect. It has no good effect on the body.
Yeah, but in the sense of in the pursuit of attaining goal or bhakti,
It's going to
it's
distract you from
nothing.
the goal. It's going to distract you from the goal. You're talking about small example of smoking. It's not a small example. It's a great vice which we all know. Dhumapan, mat kariye. We see everywhere. Cancer ho sakta hai. It's such a harmful thing. There is no point in arguing about this. Do you think there is? I understand what point you're making. You're saying maybe it's not attached to the outcome, but smoking is a
Exactly.
bad example.
Exactly.
But smoking,
Yeah.
but using the example of smoking, you're not able to do this debate nicely, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it could be smoking or something else. Eating sweets also, it's not good. So without having attachment, doing anything is okay.
Yes, completely okay. But smoking is a bad example.
Exactly. I perfectly agree with this one.
Like there are many people who are doing their professional duties and then they come back and they're chanting their 16 rounds. Well, they're doing their professional duties without any expectation of recognition or fame. That's great. If it helps you progress in the spiritual path, it's amazing. No problem. Just the smoking example doesn't stick to that.
Yeah,
That's
I think because I just took that because it was there in the presentation. Otherwise,
that's why I
yeah.
took that example so that no one can argue because it's clearly bad. If it is something hazy, the debate will go on and will not reach a conclusion.
Yeah.
But anything is even deviating you from your path of perfection a little bit, just leave it, just quit it, because ultimately on the longer run you're going to be happier for it. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Seema Mataji, you have a question? Yes, you muted yourself.
Hello.
Yeah, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
No, I would like to ask you regarding vegetarianism, which you have spoken. Since you are saying plants also have life, so how does that argument say that it is lesser than non-veg? I mean, it is. Does vegetarianism equate non-vegetarianism?
I'm not saying it equates. Absolutely not. It does not equate non-vegetarianism. But I'm saying vegetarianism is also not that clean. There is pain. You cannot say, "Oh, I am sinless. I am such a great person. I have no sin. I am a pure vegetarian." You might be very, to a very low extent, you might have done sin, but still there is some sin because you are causing pain to the plants.
Yeah,
but then
to
escape this, in the upcoming chapters, the Lord is going to say, "Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadam ashnami bhakti pratam yatmi prayatatmana." And he said, and during that I will explain to you how prasada, how ingesting prasada also does not cause any pain to the plants. I am not going to disclose it now. Let's keep it for.
And one more, I want one more question.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. See, always we have been, this mind, senses, intelligence, soul. The soul has always been in the dark. I mean, we haven't, it has never been relieved. Until today, we have been tutored about mind or intelligence. But now to awaken the soul or to find the soul, don't you think we require a tutor? Different sort of tutor.
Krishna is here for you in Bhagavad Gita. All his instructions are there. Prabhupada is there. The whole organization of ISKCON is there. But one thing you have to remember, when Krishna's words are understood clearly by you through the proper channel, like ISKCON, for example, that will get you to a very far extent. Then from there onwards, again, for example, after this whole session, you're going to, if you're interested, you can join Srimad Bhagavatam, and there you will have my guru will continue the course further. So yes, definitely you need a teacher. In upcoming chapters, the Lord is even going to say, Tadviti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadeshanti te jnanam jnaninha tattvadarshina. Because one who has seen only can show.
Yeah.
Who has never seen Delhi, let's say you're from Delhi, Mataji, and I ask you to show me Delhi, you can show Delhi. But
Yes.
me who has never seen Delhi, if you ask me to show you around Delhi, even Google Maps cannot help me. So one who has seen can only show. That is right what you said.
Yeah. So because we have to unlearn what we have learned.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. That is the key word, because we have learned so much of things from Pogo. Like the other day, I was talking to a young kid, and I said, Bhim was such a great warrior. He said, yeah, Chota Bhim. I know Chota Bhim, Chutki's boyfriend. What has happened? These kids are getting their stories from Pogo, and they think that is real. What can you say to them? That's the thing. We have to unlearn a lot. These kids have to unlearn Pogo. We adults have to unlearn Star Plus, and slightly older people have to unlearn some of Doordarshan. Maybe. So yes, unlearning is a very important thing.
And
yes,
and suddenly humiliation has become a way of life.
That's Kali Yuga for you. That's
Okay.
the
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Radhika Mataji, you have a question? Oh, you muted yourself. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I have a question from one of the verse in which you have taught like mind is in our control, right?
Mind is a?
Mind is in our control, right?
Mind is an intelligence's control, yes.
Okay, that means thoughts are in our control.
That means?
Our thoughts are in our control.
Thoughts are in your control. But you need training for that, yes.
Yes. So then why sometimes it happens like we didn't think anything but suddenly our thoughts stop, but something else comes in our mind and which came true after some time.
Arjuna says, Chanchala hi mana Krishna pramati balodradam tasyam nigram manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Arjuna says, mind is so chanchala, you tell me to stop the wind, I have some weapons to stop the wind, but I'm not able to stop my mind. What is happening? In upcoming chapters it comes. The Lord says, Bandhur atmatmanastasya ye atmaivatmana jita anatmanastu shatrutve yena atmaivatmana jita. It comes in the upcoming chapter. Let me not spoil it. This is a good question and we will take it in an upcoming chapter. Is that okay, Mataji?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
thank you.
Shipra Mataji. Yeah, Shipra Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that chanting question that I posted. Like, if Nam Jap is the best form of yagya for Kali Yuga, then why can't we chant only Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? Why do we have to chant the entire long mantra?
Because this mantra is not invented by out of thin air. It's not like someone said, okay, let me invent a mantra today. Let's say Hare, then let's say Krishna, then let's say again Hare Krishna. It wasn't invented. It is mentioned in the scriptures. It is said that it comes in 5th chapter. I'm going to discuss this, but let me tell you right now. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti shodashaka namanam kali kalmashanashanam nata parataropaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. In Kali Santaraniya Upanishad, I think it is said that Iti shodashaka namanam, these 16 names of the Lord, Iti shodashaka namanam kali kalmashanashanam, will destroy the kalmasha, the gunk, the dirtiness, what can I say, the mess, the stinkiness of Kali Yuga. Kali Kalmashanashanam. Nata Parataropaya. There is no other way. There is no alternative to this. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. All the Vedas say the same thing. What is it? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the mantra. That is why, Mataji, we stick to what is written in the scriptures and we don't try to cook up our own. Yes, Krishna's name is wonderful, but Krishna's name, and it also has a meaning. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra has a meaning which we will discuss in some upcoming classes. Is that okay? And that is when it will make sense to you.
Yeah, because in starting our throat starts paining, like we have to chant the mantra loudly.
You have to be, at least you have to be able to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And one more thing.
That's yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, you said that soul can control intelligence.
Yes.
How can that be done?
Haven't you ever controlled your intelligence sometimes? See,
Yeah.
when a new, let's take an example of a gym. When a new boy or girl enters a gym and he sees somebody do some big exercise, he's like, "Oh, how did you do that?" And he says, "Nothing. It's easy. You have to practice." Similarly, mind being controlled by intelligence or soul controlling intelligence itself also sounds a little tricky, but just takes a little bit of practice with Harinam Japa, with Hare Krishna Mahamantra. You will be able to do it. Then maybe in few months you will be telling me how to control my mind. Just start chanting, Mataji. It's all easy.
And the ultimate aim of chanting the mantra loudly is that the mantra starts in us silently, or we have to keep on chanting the mantra loudly forever.
You have to hear it and start with one round. Start with one mala. Start with 108 times. If you want to order mala, you can go online on Amazon, or you can go to iskonmangaluru.com. Just get a mala. It will be much easier for you to keep count.
Yeah, no, I'm asking the sole aim of chanting the mantra loudly is to later have that mantra run silently in us, or we have to keep on chant the mantra loudly.
But chanting loudly has to be done.
Okay, thank
Of course, that's wonderful if it can be, if it's always going on in your mind, that is wonderful and amazing. But chanting loudly has to be done.
Because they say a japa jap is the best jap.
Yes, but remember one thing. When again, I'll take the gym example. When somebody goes to gym, he starts to count. Oh, I did so many sit-ups today. I did so many squats. Why does he keep count? Because if he doesn't keep count, if it does until he gets tired, tomorrow he might get lazy and he might get tired sooner. I did 10 yesterday. I did 5 today. So I can keep count and see where I have come. So similarly, when you do japa and you keep a count, you can see how much you have progressed. It is just to self-assess.
Okay, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Saujanya Mataji. Yes, Mataji. I'll take one more question and end the session. Yes, Mataji. Yes,
Hello.
yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hello.
Yes, Mataji, I can hear you. What's your question?
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Mataji, I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes. I'll come back to you in a second. Yes, Sarvesh. What's your question? Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, I have a question regarding food. What food should we eat? Should we eat packed food? How should we cook? Should we eat mushroom? Should we eat garlic and onion?
We will
Everything
come to
regarding.
that in the next chapter. Is that okay? Because it is in the syllabus. The Lord clearly says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, Yo me Bhaktya Prajyati, Tadam Ashnami, Tadam Bhakti Upratam Ashnami Predatmana. It will come in the upcoming chapters. Let's discuss it then.
Okay, okay.
Is it okay?
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, where did you go? Okay, last question. Is that okay? Subhash Prabhu, yes?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can you hear me? Prabhuji, I wanted to ask you. You said that by conducting yagna, you could make rain happen. How is that possible?
In my 8th standard, not 8th standard, sorry. In my 4th or 5th standard, I had the syllabus called, I had the subject called environmental studies, in which we were taught that in Africa, in certain parts of Africa, it rains every afternoon. And I was shocked. I was like, Africa, it rains, teacher? And she was like, yes, my child. And I was like, how is that? Then she said, it's the heat waves, the torrential heat causes a low pressure zone because the hot air rises up, as we know, and this rising up hot air brings in cold air, and with cold air or cool air comes in clouds, and when these clouds come at that critical concentration, they start to rain. This is known even to modern day science. So what used to happen in Vedic time also, just for the sake of, if you want to make just for the sake of rain, if you want to make a yagya, they used to pour a lot of ghee, and that ghee would produce so much hot air that even the neighboring states clouds would come flying in, and it would rain in that town. You can use this keyword on Google, local heat resulting in rain. Google can help you with this. Is that okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. Another question that I have to ask you, that actually I asked you yesterday, but I put it on the chat, is that I wanted to know is you said that the soul resides in your heart, and I said that if suppose there's a heart surgery done and the complete heart is replaced, so what happens to the soul?
I will share 2 or 3 case studies with you where something really unbelievable has happened in the case of heart transplants. Whenever I have a short chapter to discuss, I'll put that case study in and we can discuss that. But today we are already beyond time and many people have left and they'll not be able to hear this answer. But there are many case studies where they found that heart transplant has brought in weird or unbelievable changes in behavior. And I'm sure if you just use the keyword behavior changes after heart transplant, I'm sure you'll be able to find 2-3 case studies. And even if you don't, I will talk about that in upcoming chapters. Is that okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. One last thing, this chanting part of it, why is it that we have to do it 108 times?
108 times? Why that particular number you're saying?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Should it have been lower or higher?
It could have been higher, it could have been lower, but why 108?
What is the significance of 108?
Yeah, exactly.
Mathematically, it is funny that it is 0 power 0 into 1 power 1 into 2 power 2 into 3 power 3. And physics wise, if you speak, it's I think it is the ratio of circumference of moon to circumference of sun. And if you take the religious explanation, 108 is the auspicious number in Sanatan Dharma. And another most important reason has to be because our Guru has asked us to do so. But of course, there might be many more reasons, but I could only think of these many right off the bat. But I will dig deeper from you.
Right, sir. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, sir.
Okay, last question. Who has not got a chance so far? Yes, Babu Prabhu, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
I think my question was asked by just one of our, Prabhuji. Yeah, regarding that heart transplantation, I think I will wait for that. Yeah, I think you have. Yeah. So you have
Please
said
remind
that.
me, okay? Please keep reminding me so that I don't forget. I'm very forgetful.
Just like to add for that 108, I think that 108 is very, very auspicious because 1 and 8 is 9. And even if you say Bhagavad Gita chapters are 18, 8 and 1 is again 9. So that is the reason anywhere, wherever you go, it's always 9.
Yeah, now that you told me, it opened up another thing. There are 108 Upanishads and Krishna has 108 varieties of cows. Yeah. And Krishna also has 16,108 consorts. And 108 is a very special number. It keeps repeating in nature. And in the chat also you can see many people are giving their perspective. 108 is a unique number. Well, and many more. And any more questions, you can use the WhatsApp groups. Let us end it here for today. Otherwise, we can keep going on and on. Yeah. We'll meet tomorrow with the next chapter, which is 4th. I request everybody to join in. Thanks for your time, everybody.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.